Since your external reality is a reflection of what you are feeling internally, then learning how to cultivate internal peace and happiness is the most important thing. So instead of trying to organize and arrange external reality to bring you internal happiness, what I'm going to be showing you how to do in this video is to go straight to the source and to cultivate a sense of internal happiness first, and watch and see how your external reality becomes peaceful and happy as a reflection of your internal state. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to be peaceful and happy in all moments, regardless of your external situation. And I know that sounds crazy. You might say, Adam, is that even possible? That sounds too good to be true. Yes, it is possible to feel peaceful and happy regardless of how much money you have in your bank account, regardless of if you're in a relationship or not, or if you're in the kind of relationship that you want to be in, regardless of your health situation, believe it or not, regardless of your living situation. And I know that sounds crazy. Adam, how can I be happy if I have bad health? Or how can I be happy if I have a terrible living situation? It's possible, and I'm going to show you exactly how that works here in this video. First, I want to speak very clearly about who is this video for. This video is for all human beings who exist on the planet Earth. So if you exist, then this video will help you. And what we're going to be speaking about is what is the root cause of unhappiness. So in order to develop a lasting sense of peace and happiness in your life, you need to have a very good understanding of what causes unhappiness, what causes us to suffer. So specifically things like being addicted to food, sex, entertainment, validation. These were all things that I struggled with a lot. Having a tense body, feeling like you're always tight and tense and you can't relax. Your body's aching and it hurts. Feeling general anxiety around money or around other people, social anxiety, feeling afraid of expressing yourself authentically in public situations because you're a people pleaser and you always need other people to like you. You can't just relax and be yourself. Problems of having no clarity in your life, not knowing who you are or what you want, what kind of life you want. Even if you know what kind of life you want, you're too scared to actually go after it, or you're just too distracted. You're too lazy and complacent. The temptations of entertainment and food and video games and porn and Netflix is more powerful than you actually going after your dreams. So you keep falling back and slipping back down into your old patterns. You're trying to get out of your old patterns, but every time you try to get out, it's like feels like one step forward, two steps back. You backslide. These are all problems that I've struggled with. This is called suffering, feeling dissatisfied with your life. I'm going to show you how to eradicate that feeling very gently and systematically in this video, but you need to stay with me, okay? This is possible. Just keep an open mind. If you're struggling with anger issues, like I have a lot, if you're struggling with relationship problems, where you're always arguing with your partner every day, constantly, you feel you're dissatisfied sexually, even. You're not able to express yourself fully, or there's something missing there. We're going to show you how to get rid of that. Feeling like you're wasting your life, like you're not actualizing your full potential, feeling like you're just rotting away. This was something, all of these problems were things that I struggled with personally. I was born into a very rich neighborhood. I live in Toronto, and I live in a suburb north of Toronto, and I had a great life. I had an amazing family. My parents are both amazing. I had security in terms of food, in terms of having a safe house. I was given lots of love and attention. I was educated. I went to a good school. I had friends. I was intelligent. I basically had everything. I had money when I wanted it. I wasn't like rich. I was middle class, but I also wasn't poor either. Like I had, video games and toys and stuff that I wanted. And the thing is that even though I had such an amazing life, I realized when I turned 15 or 16 years old, I realized that still for some reason I'm suffering deeply, and I don't know why. I'm extremely addicted to video games and porn and smoking weed and entertaining myself on YouTube, and I don't know how to stop. It's endless. I would play video games like 12 to 14 hours per day. All day. The sun would be outside and I'd be in my room playing video games. I felt like I couldn't even control myself. I had anger issues. I was pissed off all the time, irritated. And I didn't know why. I was dissatisfied in my relationships. I wasn't able to go up to a pretty girl and just be my authentic self and ask her out. I was terrified. I was needy. I always felt like I was missing something. So I discovered that even though I had everything, I had security and safety, and I was raised in a beautiful family, in a beautiful area, still I suffered deeply. So in this moment, something kind of went off in my brain. I actually remember sitting in my bedroom at 3 a.m, playing video games, pissed off, because I was playing the most frustrating video game ever, which is called League of Legends. If you have anger issues, don't play that game because it's very, very frustrating. And I remember being so pissed off at 3 a.m. and asking myself, why am I doing this to myself? This is such a waste of my life. I saw that I had a really high potential to make a lot of money, to just self-actualize, to live life to the fullest, to enjoy my life, to go out in nature and explore different countries and have deep, fulfilling relationships and get the full life experience. I saw that this was possible. I felt it. There's no reason why I wouldn't be able to enjoy my life fully, but for some reason I was stuck in my own mental prison. My habits were the wrong habits. I thought to myself, why can't I stop chasing dopamine all day? From the second I wake up to the second I go to sleep, I can't stop chasing pleasure. Why? So it took me breaking up with my girlfriend that I had in high school for me to finally do some Google searching online. When the suffering got so deep, finally I did some Google searching online, and I found self-actualization, personal development. I found lots of videos that introduced me to the idea of meditation. And then I started meditating and I found that it helped a little bit. And then I started going on meditation retreats. I was very lucky. My guru, Leo Gura on actualize.org, he helped me a lot in the beginning of my journey. He told me, Meditation is the most important thing to focus on for personal development. It's the number one personal development habit. Not exercise, not eating healthy, not journaling. Meditation is the number one. Take your meditation seriously, he told me. So I'm very lucky that he told me that, because that's exactly what I did. I went on meditation retreats. Since then, 7 years ago, I've been on over 15 meditation retreats where I go out into the forest and rent a cabin and meditate all day for 7 days straight. I've had meditation teachers show me how to conduct a retreat in the most optimal way. And since then, I just got back from a recent meditation retreat that was amazing. And since then, I feel like I've really discovered the path towards attaining lasting peace and happiness. I feel like I found with my meditation practice, since in the beginning it sucked. I mean, for the first 3-5 years, it was just suffering the whole time. But I had that long-term vision where I saw into the future. Well, meditation is not going to give me results in the first few years. This is what my teacher told me, actually, Leo Gura. He said, you're not going to get results in the first few years. But 5 to 10 years down the road, that's when you're going to start getting results. They're going to be exponential. In the beginning, you're not going to see much growth. But 10 years down the road, that's when the results are going to start to compound, and you're going to start to become superhuman. Your mind is going to be peaceful and calm. You're going to be a shining example of what it means to be a self-actualized human being. And I saw that vision for myself. It made sense. Okay, so I'm just going to meditate consistently for 30 minutes a day or an hour a day, and I'm going to do that consistently for years, for the rest of my life until I die. And I'm just going to trust in the power of compounding interest. It's going to get better and better. In the beginning, I'm going to suck, but I'm going to keep trying, and it's going to get better. So fast forward 7 years to where I am now, and I'm just now really starting to taste the full fruits of meditation practice. And when I say the full fruits, I mean just a taste, because it keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. It's infinitely expansive. The deeper you get, the deeper you get. It's like an exponential growth curve. The more it compounds, the more it compounds. So I'm just beginning to start to taste how it's actually possible for a human being to fully be in the present moment, in every moment of the day, where your regular life, when you're going to the grocery store, when you're working, your regular life can turn into a meditation retreat where you're mindful and present, you're awake and grounded in each moment, where you don't feel afraid to be your authentic self, to go talk to girls, or to run a business, or to make a YouTube video, or to express yourself authentically. There's no fear. It's like this tangled ball of yarn of all these emotions that you don't notice, this tangled ball of yarn of twisted, toxic emotions. When you're sitting at home on the couch watching Netflix, you don't notice it because you're ignorant. But then all of a sudden, when you need to make a YouTube video to market your business, or you need to go talk to a pretty girl, or you're in an intimate relationship and you're ready to have some sex, now all of a sudden, all of your insecurities and twisted emotions and fear and unworthiness and self-consciousness, all of this comes up in the important parts of life. And this causes you to just feel like you can't get what you deeply want and need. need is a strong word, but what you deeply want, like fulfilling sex, fulfilling business and work, health. You can't get what you want because your own emotions are blocking you, because you're not aware of how the whole thing works, which is what we're going to get into now. So this, just so you know, this is the biggest problem ever. So if you're not aware of your own emotional system and how it's all twisted and tangled, then you're just going to suffer your entire life. You're not going to know why. You're going to have unfulfilling relationships, health, everything that I explained. You're going to have work that you hate. You're going to be drunk all the time. You're going to always be chasing for things to make you feel good externally, and we all know how that works, right? Sure, you know how that works. Doesn't work. Keep trying. Maybe if you eat more food, you'll get happy. Oh wait, no, it doesn't work like that. Maybe if you go drink more alcohol, it'll help. Oh wait, it doesn't. It doesn't matter what you do. External things cannot provide lasting happiness, but you're gonna keep trying for all your life, and you're gonna waste your life. You're gonna have a sad life where you're gonna be dissatisfied in all these ways. You're not gonna get what you deeply want unless you really start to open your mind to the possibility that there actually is a solution, a lasting solution to all emotional turmoil, craving, anger, addiction, sadness. There is a lasting solution to this, and we're going to explain what that is and how it works right now. So why do we suffer at all? It kind of seems like, why did God design reality for me to be sad? That's like, seems terrible. And yeah, so what I'm about to explain now, the root cause of suffering, I want you to keep in mind, is something that cannot be explained using words. And I know that's a little bit inconvenient, but that's the predicament that we're in, because the root cause of suffering is something that's pre-verbal. It's something that actually comes before your concept mind even develops. So when you're a little child, when you're like 1 year old and you don't even know how to form a concept, this is when the root cause of suffering starts. You can see this even in animals. Essentially, the root cause of suffering is unexamined patterns of self-protection and self-preservation. So let's use an analogy. When, as organisms, we live life, and life sometimes makes us feel a little bit uncomfortable. So what we do to medicate ourselves is to develop these kinds of patterns that seem to help us feel better, but they actually don't. So an example for me, one thing that I did a lot when I was a kid, and I still do to this day, is in order to insulate myself from the suffering of life, to make my life a little bit more safe and comfortable, one way that I protect myself is to immediately go up into my mind, into concept land, and start building models and concepts of reality in my mind, because I feel like my models and concepts can keep me safe, because they can help me to control reality and prevent me from suffering, and they can help me to get more money and sex and the things that my organism wants and needs, and it'll help me to prevent suffering. So that's one self-protection mechanism. There's many of them. They're different for every person. Every person's different. So some people might use food as self-medication to make them feel safe, to protect them from feeling the the texture of life. So imagine it's like you're trying to build a pillow fort around you so that you never have to feel the hard edges of life. Ramana Maharshi had this analogy. It's like you're trying to cover the entire world in leather so that when you walk, you don't hurt your feet. And then he said, but isn't it easier just to wear shoes? So what I'm explaining now is instead of leaning on external reality to make you feel happy and fulfilled, instead of trying to cover the whole world in leather to organize your pillow fort of life to be as comfortable as it possibly can with no rough edges anywhere so you never hurt yourself, instead of that, you should become a pillow yourself. Be like water. Be soft so that when you fall, you kind of embrace the hard edge and it doesn't hurt you because you're not rigid and tight. So this is the equivalent of wearing shoes. Instead of covering the world in leather, wear shoes so that every step you take is protected. This is the solution to suffering, is to become aware of the present moment, to be present with life, and to soften your heart, to soften your body, and to actually be receptive to life. Instead of trying to protect against painful things that you don't like, instead, embrace them, soften around them, let them be aware of them, observe them, go into them, break them down, see them clearly. Instead of resisting and avoiding your pain and your suffering, feel it fully. I'm going to explain how to do that, okay? I don't want to get too conceptual. So it's very important, again, I'm going to say it again, that you guys understand. What I'm explaining right now is not the root cause of suffering, even though I just said it is. Because the root cause of suffering is not Adam's words. So words and concepts and books are not the root cause of suffering. The root cause of suffering is not a concept. The only thing that can unravel this twisted ball of twisted emotions that cause you deep suffering in all moments of your life, the only way to unravel this ball of defilements or twisted emotions is to experience how reality arises and passes away in your own experience. So the solution is not a verbal solution. I can't tell you the solution. The solution is something that's pre-verbal. You need to actually sit and see reality directly. You need to develop direct seeing. I'm going to explain how to in a few minutes. So I'm not going to leave you hanging. Say, oh, it's nonverbal, figure it out yourself. No, I'm going to explain to you how to develop this direct seeing where instead of thinking about how to be free from suffering, instead of devising plans and schemes, the perfect business model that will make my pillow fort nice and safe and secure so that I never have to suffer ever again. The perfect relationship, the perfect diet, the perfect house. Instead of trying to organize external reality to be safe and comfortable, I'm going to be showing you to give up the need to do that. That's actually freedom, because then in any scenario, you feel secure in yourself. You feel secure in your own being. So when I say something like, Adam, when I say something like give up the need to make reality safe and comfortable for yourself, stop trying to build pillow forts. Just let reality be as it is. Feel it fully. Let it be. Accept it. Observe it. Be aware of it. You might say, Adam, if I do that, then I'm not going to make any money. I'm not going to have any relationships. See, no, it's counterintuitive. Like Lao Tzu said, the path forward seems to go back. The shortest path seems long. True purity seems tarnished. So you'd think that, Adam, if I stop trying to control and manipulate and organize my reality to be the exact way that I want it to be, then I'll never be happy. But no, it's the exact opposite. Exactly the opposite. When you allow reality to be as it is and stop that exact worrying of, oh no, but if I allow reality to be as it is, then I'm not going to have money, and I'm not going to have sex, and I'm not going to have health and fulfillment. That's the root cause of unfulfillment. That thinking process. Counterintuitively, when you try to secure yourself, that leads to insecurity. It's like quicksand. The more you struggle to get out, the deeper you get sunk. It's better to just be still. And once you're still and calm, then you can find a branch to pull yourself out very calmly and precisely, without struggling and flailing your hands and trying this business model and this relationship technique and this new diet and this YouTube video is going to help me be free and happy and this YouTube video is going to help. No, it's not about the external things. It's about grounding yourself internally. Okay? So to recap, you need to see yourself erecting this pillow fort of comfort all day. So when I was on my meditation retreat, I was doing a 6-day retreat at the Dharma Center of Canada. It was a solo meditation retreat. I would meditate from when I would wake up at 6 in the morning. I would meditate, eat breakfast, meditate, eat lunch, meditate, eat dinner, meditate, go to bed. And that was my day. It was amazing. It's exactly what I needed. On this retreat, I had one interview with the meditation teacher, who is a very well established meditation practitioner. He's devoted his entire life from when he was 20. Now he's 72, so that's like 52 years of meditation, and he's done it properly. What I'm explaining to you now is basically what he explained to me. And he didn't really explain it verbally. He did, but he more so explained it energetically to me, where I just sat with him in a room for 20 minutes. And he showed me with his energy, the way he is. He showed me how to be happy and free from suffering. And the main insight that I got from this was this kind of the house building urge, the urge to build a house. Everything you're doing, every single thought that enters your mind when you wake up in the morning is you trying to build a house to make your reality more safe and secure. That actually is the only purpose of concepts. The reason why human beings are able to even use concepts is to further our survival, to make it easier to live. So I'm not saying concepts are bad. I'm saying that when you get fooled by your concepts and you're living in your concepts, you wake up in the morning and immediately you're thinking about your life, and you think that your life the way it is in your head is your actual life. But it's not. They're two different things. When you're present in the moment, you see that your actual life is not at all what you think your life is in your head. In your head, you have all these stories and concepts, and then it's like you become a character in this imaginary story. And you're always trying to scheme and plot to build this house to make yourself safe and comfortable. But that doesn't work because your concepts are not actually reality. Even if you succeed in your business, even if you succeed in your relationship, you're still going to suffer. It doesn't matter the money in your bank account, because the quantity of dollars in your bank account doesn't untangle the emotional ball of yarn of suffering that's in your heart. Still, you suffer. Regardless of the money in your bank account, you can have $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion, quadrillion dollars, quintillion dollars, sextillion dollars. It doesn't matter, because that is not you being aware of the root cause of suffering, which is the urge to secure yourself. You're using your mind to try to secure yourself, but it's actually unnecessary. So when you're using your mind to secure yourself all day, then you're scared all day. You're afraid of your house being torn down. Now, since you're so involved in building this house, now you have to protect it. Now you're anxious when there's water that comes in. You're anxious when there's bugs, or when the weather's bad. You're anxious. So the only way to stop being afraid of life and to just enjoy life fully and to be enlightened, to be the Buddha, to be in nirvana, it's possible to still survive. Your body will still be fine, but you are going to stop worrying about it. And then God, or your heart, actually starts to solve your life for you. Things kind of fall into place. Have you noticed that nature grows on its own? And it's beautiful. So let your nature grow your life for you, and it will be beautiful. So I can talk about this all day, but none of this video will help you at all unless you do the practice that I'm going to share with you now. So if you're not going to do the practice, you just wasted your time. So everything I just said won't help you at all unless you do the practice of seeing reality directly, seeing how the mind is constantly scheming for how to secure itself. You need to see this. Just seeing it dissolves it. So this mind is so tangled, but in order to untangle it, you need to practice seeing it, being aware, being present in the moment. This moment. Which moment? Which one? The other one? No, I'm not talking about the one in the future. I'm not talking about later. I'm talking about now. You gotta be present now. When else are you gonna be present? What time is it? Now. So the solution that the Buddha discovered, and not just the Buddha, this Hindu people have discovered it, Jesus discovered it, the Jews discovered it, we've all discovered the same solution. Essentially what it is you need to learn how to concentrate your attention onto present experience as it arises and passes away in each moment. How do you do this? Well, there's many ways to do this. There's many different kinds of contemplation techniques, visualizations, there is meditations, mindfulness is the main one. I'm going to share you the main one that I use that is amazing. It works great. It's extremely powerful. Mainly what I use is Vipassana meditation, which I actually have a free guide in the description that'll show you from scratch how I do Vipassana meditation, and I'll guide you through it myself. So if you want to know how to do it, then click that link in the description. You're going to get a free guide. I'll show you how. But the big picture of how is to do Vipassana meditation, or just to be mindful and to actually do meditation practice. So none of this bullshit of like, oh Adam, I meditate when I drive to work. No, you don't. I meditate when I swim. No, you don't. You need to do a practice. You need to set a timer. You need to sit and be quiet and be there. You need to actually have a timeout of life. You can't meditate while you're driving. Sure you can, but you can only meditate while you're driving after you've done years of formal sitting practice or walking practice that I'll show you how to do in the guide. So on a big picture level, what this practice is just continually focusing your attention on the present moment. And what does that even mean, the present moment? What is the present moment? Well, you're generally what we do is we focus attention on body sensations. So the breathing is a very popular one. Rising and falling of the belly, or maybe the breath entering and exiting the nostrils. Any kind of concentrated focusing of the attention on present experience will work as long as you do it consistently. So what I recommend honestly is to book yourself a meditation retreat. Especially if you're a beginner. That's the best thing you can do. People say, well, I'm a beginner, so I don't know if I can handle a retreat. No, that's why you should book a retreat, because you may not be able to handle it. It'll help you. You know, that's a side point. So I recommend booking a meditation retreat. I really like the Dharma Center of Canada. That's in Ontario, here where I live. It's fantastic, but there's amazing Vipassana retreat centers all around the world. I love Buddhist retreat centers. They work very well. They give good practices, and they generally help. Now, Buddhism can turn into its own thing that you kind of get lost in a little bit, but that's something you can worry about later. So first, I recommend exploring more Vipassana and Buddhism, because that's just what's helped me a lot. I'm just sharing what's helped me. I've explored many different paths. Buddhism is just the one that I feel like is the most practical, and they give you a practice and you do it and it works. So that's what I recommend starting with. I recommend booking yourself a 4-day retreat or a 7-day retreat and actually go. This is where the rubber meets the road. See, most of you watching this video, let's say a few hundred people watch this video. I'm going to say maybe 1 or 2 people are actually going to go find a retreat center near them, find dates that work for them, take time off work, book it, pay for it, travel there, do the full retreat, and then come home and actually integrate it into their life by continuing the practice that they learn on the retreat in their actual life. Out of maybe a few hundred people that watch this video, 1 to 2 of you will actually do that, and then 1 to 2 of you will actually get the results that I talked about here. in this video. Everyone else, you just wasted your time. I'm sorry, you wasted your own time. I didn't waste your time. You wasted your time by not actually doing the practice. So guys, listen. You have as many lifetimes as you want to figure this out. Okay? You may not get it this lifetime. Maybe you'll just say, oh, Adam was full of shit, whatever. I'm gonna go play more video games. I'm not gonna take my meditation seriously. Adam, he's just a Buddhist. He's brainwashed by Buddhism. He doesn't really know the root cause of suffering. He doesn't really know how happiness works. Deep down, I still think that if I drink enough alcohol, or that if I make enough money, or that if I get the proper sex that I really want, the kind of sex that I've been dreaming about, then I'll actually finally be happy. Deep down, you still think that. You don't actually believe anything I just said here. Or maybe you do, but guess what? Believing me doesn't help you. You know what helps you? Doing meditation practice. That's what helps you. So I have a free guide for how to start doing it at home. You can click the link in the description, check that out. I'll send it to you. Actually do the practice. I recommend starting with like 20 minutes, then increasing to 30 minutes, then increasing to 40 minutes, and so on. In the future, I'm going to be making more guides about meditation and how to free yourself from suffering, how to be happy, how to develop awareness that is moment to moment. Moment to moment awareness and presence. This is what brings you happiness. So I'm not going to be talking as much about this kind of practical reality creation stuff, like how to manifest your ideal reality. I'm not really going to be talking about that anymore. And the reason why is because I think that stuff is honestly like, what's the point? The real reality creation is stop trying to create a comfortable reality. Stop. Sit. Be present. And let reality create itself through you. You don't have to like do the visualizations of like the exact reality you want. What's the point of that? It doesn't liberate your soul from the bondage of suffering. It doesn't help you be free. It doesn't help you be present. So it's a waste. It's a distraction. On this channel, I will be sharing with you practical guides for just practical stuff like dating girls or running a business in a conscious way, that kind of stuff. I'll be making some practical guides just because I'm bored. I have nothing. I'll help you guys with that stuff. But the main thing that's going to help you with everything all at once is meditation. So your dating life is just a reflection of your meditation. Are you at peace within yourself? If so, your dating life will be fine. Your business and your money situation is a reflection of your meditation. Your health, your happiness, all of it starts within. The only real change starts from inside. So that's what I'm helping you here on this channel. I have a website. It's called adammichelli.co. Check that out. I got that free meditation guide up on there. You can join my email list. I'll keep you posted, keep you fresh and reminded for what's important in life. And otherwise, subscribe to this YouTube channel because I'm going to be making new videos as frequently as I want to. And they'll help to remind you about how life actually works. And yeah, this video is getting long, so I'll end it here. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one.